Hey guys, Stem Cell here. So I'm doing a video on Charlie Kirk, and I wanted to do it on how the media and politicians have been essentially calling him a white supremacist, Nazi, leader of the KKK. And anyways, I was trying to look for videos, and I just want to show you here. Google is suppressing or censoring a lot of stuff, and I thought we kind of got over that, but I guess not. So I want to go ahead and do this video from Sky News here.
Charlie Kirk was faced with students calling him a fascist, but do they know what a fascist is?
I know he's not a fascist, but it's more just of getting the community together to just go against it.
A lot of people said he's not actually a fascist. So then why call him a fascist?
Well, I don't know the exact definition of a fascist, so I don't know if he is or isn't a fascist.
It's almost amusing. In the space of a few seconds, she goes from calling him a fascist to saying, well, he's not a fascist, and then she admits that she actually doesn't know what the word means.
She was kind of sweet, actually.
Kind of in her, sometimes stupidity can be cute.
It can be, and maybe this is why the federal government
I disagree.
wants to do the loan forgiveness thing, because they're not learning anything in college, so may as well get a refund.
Well, if you want to know what a fascist is, I don't know, maybe have a look at your mates there or perhaps in the mirror, because fascists love shutting down their opponents. They love shutting down free speech and silencing people with intimidation and violence.
Imagine bringing your side project to life just by thinking.
Okay, so this is a post on X, and I want to show you this video.
Yeah.
I'll say, can I just say something? I don't agree he was a Cicero for the TikTok age. I believe he was a David Duke for the TikTok age. And I have some degree...
Can you just remind us who
David
Duke
was
is?
the former Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan. That this was a very serious...
So in other words, he's comparing Charlie Kirk to the guy, KKK guy.
Deep. Now, this is by no means trying to justify his murder. Political violence is wrong at home.
Even though he just called him, like, pretty much the leader of the KKK.
This is wrong abroad. It is wrong... and it's also...
I'm going to call him a Nazi, but then I'm going to say murder's wrong.
So wrong. Political violence must be condemned, as must...
Let me ask you this. What did America do to Nazis back in the day?
Be the propagandizing for political violence and the dehumanization of people. Charlie Kirk was somebody who was... I shiver, particularly for conservatives, when he's described as a conservative, because he wasn't a conservative by any means whatsoever. He was quite clearly, comfortably, a supremacist. That if I was somebody who was going...
He's a centrist.
on television, I'm sure you wouldn't describe somebody who goes on TV and blames Jewish people for what he describes as the coarsening of Western culture.
I don't understand, you know, like, they could have at least gave it like a week before they started in with this type of stuff, you know, essentially trashing his character, calling him a Nazi, and all that stuff. But, you know, oh, I feel bad he died.
Says things like the Equality Act or the Civil Rights Act or so was a mistake. Says things
too soon,
like women shouldn't be entitled to abortions, etc., so on and so forth.
Very extreme things. I want you to carry on.
Please.
But he said those in a debate in a university and then received, you know, very vigorous debate back. So
Indeed.
what he would argue and his supporters is that is freedom of speech. He was wearing a T-shirt with freedom on it, which we hate when it's stopped in this country.
No, I agree with that. I am not here to justify or even contextualize his murder. I completely abhor political violence. I completely despise...
He just called him a Nazi, though. Like, again, what do you do with the KKK and Nazis?
guns and gun violence too whatsoever. He was outright on camera saying that, look, it's worthy of us, for the purpose of the Second Amendment or so, that a few people be murdered by guns or so, being murdered with guns or so, over the course of the year is a worthy sacrifice for the Second Amendment. The problem is that why those of us who speak from the position of empathy, where we come from, is the belief that it could be us one day.
Yeah, that's exactly my point. This could have been a lot of people. I don't condone some people celebrating, you know, people dying. It's dumb. But then, like, I also just, you know, go, if you really want to celebrate it, go celebrate it in your room. Don't put it on the internet.
He never thought that it could be him, and he thought he was somewhat invincible, and sadly, it happened to him. And sadly, the very sort of people he's helped dehumanize or so, the minorities, the women, the Jewish people, so on and so forth, so, and now the exact same thing that he almost helped to legitimize for them has happened to him. It's sad, it's wrong, but he too, there's a moral lesson in here too, which is recognize your own vulnerability. Be more empathetic. Don't dehumanize people. Don't propagandize for people's murder. It could happen to you.
But isn't this...
That's really the dude's freaking message. I don't know about you, but it makes me sick. And theirs is actually called something, excuse me, it's called Stoic Terrorism. And the definition of Stoic terrorism is when you involve public figures, politicians, influencers, and you demonize that group or individuals through repeated extreme labels, such as equating them to Nazis or fascists or white supremacists, which can prime a small percentage of the audience to act violent. The Stoic part refers to the probabilistic nature that incitement isn't a clear, direct order, but it's predictable that some people will interpret this as a call to action, leading to a lone wolf attack. You know, it's exactly what I think happened. And the more you know about this shooter guy, the more you realize he's on the left, and he's been filled full of CNN and MSNBC, and maybe all those places. I'll let you guys make up your mind on it, but I find it pretty disgusting. But anyways, like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you next time.